Question: why do some people gain weight faster than others? There are a lot of different reasons for why this happens when it comes to different people's kind of metabolisms, genetic makeup, lifestyles. One of the biggest factors in my experience of training people over the last 15 years has been appetite control. Some people get fuller faster than others. Some people have habits or cues that kind of allow them to stop eating much sooner. And a lot of this has to do with the way you were brought up, the way you were, raised, your sort of cravings, as far as, because a lot of that cravings have a lot to do with, there's a lot of emotional things that tie into kind of what you eat. And you have to remember that when you eat certain foods, or when you smell certain foods especially, there's a certain feeling you get. And if you're in America, you think about McDonald's. I don't know if you grew up having your parents take you to McDonald's, you might have a certain feeling about that, thinking about when your parents took you, or you might actually think it's disgusting. It sort of depends on sort of like what you've learned over the years. And why I bring this up is because emotional feelings, the way you feel about food, or the way we kind of attach ourselves to food, is very below our consciousness. So this affects appetite significantly, like, because certain foods make us feel good, not just the taste, of course the taste, but also sort of what we connect as far as like how we grew up or how we were raised, or things that we attach to things, just a kind of a simple example is like, if you had like sort of a weird experience or traumatic experience eating pizza, you will probably have some bad feelings about pizza. It's not unusual about this. I would cite a sort of a research study if I can remember one, but I can't. But another factor too is that, so the genes for appetite control. The other factor also to remember when it comes to eating is the fact that some people have tendency to want to move more than others. Now, of course, we can say some people are lazy and some people are not lazy, or people have grew up working out. A lot of it, there's some. If you've read the book The Sports Gene, you'll know that there are some people out there that need to work out. If they don't work out, they get really depressed. It was something about runners, like people who run marathons or lots of marathons, who just like almost compulsive runners. They don't just run because they're good at running or they like running. It's like they have to run, and a lot of it's built in habit. But remember, a lot of sort of how we are genetically and how we are by our environment affects how we gain weight. And for me, for example, I'll tell you that I'm just an eater. I'm on a diet right now and I'm leaning down and getting my abs, and it's taking some time, but when I start eating bad food, I basically can't stop. So how do I eat? I basically, like, if I'm going to eat junk food, I make a conscious decision to make junk food, usually, to eat junk food, and I will read the package, I'll read the number of servings on the package, and then I will multiply the calories per serving for the amount of servings in there, and I'll just assume I'm going to eat the entire bag. This is probably a terrible way of kind of viewing things, but the reason why is because I know I will finish the bag, or I'll eat a majority of the bag, and that's just how it is. So when I do the math, I end up just not eating it. And almonds and nuts are a good example of that, because they're just very calorically dense. And I hope that question answers and helps you understand. I guess I should give you some of my background too. Some people that I've trained in the past, some people are skinny. Like I've had this lady that I train, and she's like 120, 125 pounds, never changes weight. Some girls 140, 145 pounds, and they've always been that weight. I mean, sure, they may have gained 5 to 10 pounds, but not like 30, 40, 50 pounds, which I have met those people, and I'm actually one of those people. They fluctuate a lot. And all I can really tell you is that, again, a lot of it has to do with just how you were raised, how you grew up, and just kind of how your whole process of how, essentially, kind of like the habits you've created throughout your life, but then also consider how your habits work with your environment and how you were essentially taught and trained. So I hope that answers your question. I hope you got a lot from this video. Why do some people gain weight faster than others? And that is the end of that question.